Guess what my husband did while I was falling apart from sleepless nights, physical pain, and nonstop baby care? He took a long, peaceful nap, and somehow that nap was the final straw in our happy marriage. I'm a 28-year-old female, and I think a nap just shattered my marriage to my 30-year-old husband. It sounds insane, I know, but I need to let this out before I burst. It's almost 3 in the morning, and I can't sleep, not because of the baby this time, but because I'm emotionally wrecked. We've been married for less than a year, together for 6. We have a beautiful 3-month-old daughter. I'm a first-time mom and currently a stay-at-home parent. My husband works from home. He's not a bad guy, just emotionally inept. The kind of person who doesn't get it until the damage is done. My resentment toward him started long before the baby arrived, back when I was pregnant. His mom was brutal to me. She'd wait until he left the room and then start whispering awful things about miscarriages, stillbirths, and would throw around the phrase dead baby like it was nothing. I told him. He believed me. He even sympathized. But nothing was done. No boundaries, no consequences. She kept coming around, kept saying cruel things, and I just had to deal with it. When I gave birth, I thought maybe he'd step up. Instead, he left me alone in the hospital each night because the couch was uncomfortable. I had to call him over 20 times to get him to come back one night because I felt so alone. Then, when it was time to go home, he actually asked me to help carry stuff to the car. The nurse had to step in and tell him I shouldn't be lifting anything. I just delivered a whole human. At home, he kept talking about his lack of sleep. Meanwhile, I was up every night, barely sleeping an hour or two while trying to figure out breastfeeding and healing. He was sleeping 8 to 10 uninterrupted hours a night and still telling me how exhausted he was. I couldn't hear it without wanting to scream. He was supportive while I figured out nursing. I'll give him that. But every time his mom visited, they'd leave a mess for me to clean up. He got annoyed about our messy basement, so I helped clean and carry things, which caused me to start bleeding again. The doctor told me to stop lifting heavy things, but my husband kept asking me to help anyway, and when I couldn't, he'd get irritated. Then he'd complain about it all day. By month 3, everything between us was cold and distant. I didn't want to be touched, kissed, or even looked at. He kept asking me if I was okay, and I just kept saying, I'm fine. I didn't know how to say, I'm drowning. Today, it all fell apart because of a dog walk. He nagged me to take the dog out. I hadn't slept since 2:30 a.m. because of the baby. I was done. Just done. He said fine, I could nap, then whined about walking the dog like he was being tortured. That was it. I exploded. I reminded him I hadn't had a full night's sleep in months. He got pissy and stormed off. He locked himself in his office the whole day. I cried. Over and over again. By 11 p.m., he still hadn't come out. I broke. I walked in there and asked him what the hell was going on. He gave me the cold shoulder, and I lost it. I told him I hated him, that I wanted to go home, that maybe we needed to divorce, that I was done carrying this entire household on my back while he naps and hides. He calmed down and said sorry. I asked what he had even done all day. His answer? He took a nap. He napped. While I was falling apart, while I was breaking down from sleep deprivation and mental overload, he slept, and I snapped. I cried so hard I couldn't speak. He apologized, again and again, said he loved me, but for the first time, I couldn't say it back. Now I'm in bed. It's 2 a.m. He's snoring peacefully beside me like nothing's wrong, and I want to scream. I want to take my daughter and run. Being a single mom suddenly seems like the easier option. How is it possible that a nap, is what made me want to leave my marriage? Update. So, we talked. Well, I talked. He listened. I told him I was at my limit, that I couldn't go on like this, that unless something changed right now, I was going back to my family with our baby. He looked confused at first, but then he saw the 2 packed bags by my dresser. That's when it hit him. I wasn't bluffing. I laid it all out. His mom's toxic behavior. How abandoned I felt at the hospital. How I'm still alone now, doing everything so he can focus on work. I hadn't said these things out loud before. I just swallowed them until they turned into rage. He tried to defend himself once. I shut it down. If you turn this into a list of excuses, I'm walking out that door. He stopped. He really listened. At the end, he said sorry. Just once. But this time, it felt real. Then he asked, "What do you need me to do?" We made a plan. He's handling all the dog walks from now on. No discussion. His mom? Banned from our house. Zero contact with me or our daughter. Once he's off the clock, I'm off too. I'll still breastfeed because I genuinely enjoy that bonding moment. You should see the way our daughter pats my chest when she eats, her little hazel eyes looking up at me like I'm her whole world. It's the one thing that brings me peace. Right now, I'm soaking in a hot bath. This weekend, I've been promised complete rest, no baby duties. I'll pump, and he'll feed her using our frozen milk stash. He knows the routine. He's capable. I trust that much, at least. I just heard him unloading the dishwasher. We're committing to one date day per weekend to reconnect as a couple, not just co-parents. We're starting couples counseling. I'm also starting individual therapy. He's already in therapy, thankfully. He told me he didn't grow up with a father who showed love. His dad was a man-child who threw fits and emotionally abused his family. He said he always admired how my dad drops everything for me and how he wants to be like that. But he knows he's not there yet. That was hard for him to admit, and hard for me to hear. So now it's day by day. Can our marriage survive this? Maybe, maybe not. But I know one thing, my bags are still packed, sitting right by the door. Not as a threat, but as a reminder that I can leave, that I deserve peace, that I'm not trapped. I've booked a postpartum depression screening. My mom is flying out next month to help. And my dad? He told me if I need to leave, he'll be on the first flight out so I don't have to travel alone with the baby.